Okay, so now welcome to the marketing funnel, right? And the classifications for those. Now, this sort of funnel will be existing throughout your proceedings, okay? And while you deal with some in the initial stages, the previous three of those, right? They also exist and will exist with your communities in the respective funnels. But this will happen throughout with the rapid changes happening throughout the process, okay? Hence, if you see, there are 12 classifications to this. But before I get to the classifications, you should understand that there is a process which is going in play right from the first one that we started off, right? So if you look at the ACE activities, right, what is happening? We are creating awareness, then we're considering some of the elements out of the traffic generation and the lead generation activity to formulate into a funnel. So we're considering that awareness to become a funnel that we want to make happen of, depending on the digital assets and the niche that we're targeting, right? And then the consideration comes into an effect. That means, in our case, the topmost profit maximizer or the like-minded people community that we're looking at, those are the actions that people take to come to that level. Okay. So how does this all happen? Right. The SAVA system now comes into existence. What does that mean? You spread the word, you attract the right people. Out of that attraction, you require the people whom you want, and that want converts into action that you want as an outcome, right? Which in this case would be that you get them to the topmost level of a profit maximizer and create a community of the like-minded people, because they would have gone through the learnings that you want them to go through, because you would want and attract the like-minded people at the topmost level, where you can form a syndicate and you can cross-culturally change and exchange your respective expertise and the niches to grow the larger blitzscaling formula that you intend doing, right? So that is the SAVA and the ACE formula that goes into existence as a classification. Now let's jump into each of the marketing related funnel classification. Okay, we'll address this three at a time in formulated lectures so that you kind of assimilate them better, right? But most of them it will be as per the mentioned name for them. Okay, so what does a direct sales funnel, a book launch funnel, and a messenger class funnel do? Okay, let's see in the next element of things. Right. So in the first element, which is your direct sales funnel, what is going on? Right? You see the steps in front of you. A direct sales funnel is formulated once you have your traffic coming to play, you have a lead capture, which is typically your landing page, all right? And through that landing page, you send them to a payment zone, which typically would be one of the payment gateways that you've chosen, and that leads to your their access to the digital asset that you want to look into. Now, these assets could be anything, right? Right from a tripwire to a point where it is where you want to directly take them to a core product or one of those, right? So, lead magnet is another example for this one, because during your lead capture, what you propose is what people take and run with. This is that process. So, this is a direct sales funnel from that point of view, where sales happen directly out of the activity that you've done on the landing page. Clear? Right. Now, as I told you, right, it could be the asset that in the direct sales funnel could be a live program, the very asset that we discussed, the memberships, or the consulting or the services that you are offering for that activity. Okay. Right. Now let's look at a book launch funnel, right? A book launch funnel typically is again a situation where digital assets are created, where there is a book involved, a e-book involved, or one of those related elements, or even a journal involved. Okay, anything to do with the book element of things. what happens during this phase, right? When you're coming from different social, the traffic coming from various social sites, as we discussed earlier, as different sources, the book launch, all right? You create a landing page, typically like a free pages or free chapters, or maybe even a free shipping, right? Where you want to, because your book itself is a is kind of a lead magnet either for your course or for the second book in the series or otherwise. Okay, so look at that from this perspective. That's why the name. Okay, so if that is happening, uh, that landing page either directly allows you to capture the email, allows the thank you page to provide that ebook in the free chapters or whatever that you promise them to give, or the book itself with a free shipping cost or a coupon that can lead them to that, from a landing page to the page maybe in Amazon or Kobo or in Apple Books or one of those, which they can download using that coupon. Okay, so this is that purpose. Then when it moves to a bonus course, right? This would mean that means your book is used now for your advanced course activities, which is one of the digital other assets that you've created out there. So this was more maybe here the book launch itself is like a lead magnet, which now you're moving into something like a tripwire, okay, a bonus course. And then this might give them so much of excitement, which during the course you take them to your live webinars where you get a live audience with them because the emails you have or you've been recurring or retargeting them for that particular live webinar, which then results into payment and then the core asset that you want to get into. So this is the purpose for the book launch funnel, if you will, if there's a book that is existing out there. Okay, and then you put them in their paraphernalia because these are book lovers, mind you, right? And then if there's a future asset in form of ebooks, etc., this is your key funnels that come into existence, which you can put under the marketing gamut of things, right? Or if they're converted into one of your memberships or your courses, then you put them there as well. So there are these funnels are cross leveraged, mind you, right? So they will exist in both the funnels. So then the report shows you, in case you're doing a multitude of things, you'll see the common people on that space that becomes a target audience in the future. So your CTA comes down for that specific activity. All right, very clear. Let's jump to the next one. So messenger class funnel. Messenger class typically is where you provide a coupon. So a lead capture happens at the point where you are providing them with some incentive to jump to the next camera things, which typically could be a platform which is using a phone system or a system besides the other social activities. All right. So for example, in this case, various traffic come in, you take them to a lead capture, a landing page where you provide a coupon, which helps them use that coupon, say in a WhatsApp group or a messenger group of FB, or you provide them some sort of gamification. If they complete this activity, they can qualify to come to buy a particular asset in its whole, and then that becomes in this case the WhatsApp group that you formulated creates a small community, but at the same time it is used with those coupons that you're offering to use in a asset that gets formulated from your digital asset perspective. So a lead capture, passing a coupon, taking them to a WhatsApp group, which then helps them understand and go to a asset, from that lead capture to a lead magnet, which eventually results into a sale of an asset using one of your payment gateways, right? So what has happened now? So earlier one, in the first one, we had the direct sales where the lead was converted into getting into your core product. In second one, we put a book in between with certain coupons or other elements which will help you understand if somebody is a book lover also, if that's part of your asset activity. And then you take them to a webinar where the core product is sold through, right? In the third element, we talked about a messenger class, which is where you give them a coupon or again one of the books and this and the other, where you create a gamification environment where people go to WhatsApp, they solve certain clues or have they use the coupon to solve that, and that takes them to the final core product, which you know there is a interest in taking that asset because you have created that WhatsApp group from that point of view, right? Where you're seeing accolades and other factors, and you're inspiring people accordingly. So that WhatsApp group then results into a sale of an asset, right? So you keep on managing the community accordingly. So that's a messenger class. Now, all this doesn't mean that you have to do all of them. Okay, this would mean you pick and choose depending on your asset and your niche what really classifies into any of these. So this is holistically. But again, again, a pro note here: the world out there, which the corporate world out there, which is using Blitzscaling, right, to the extent that they use all these systems. Okay, so hence they have been brought to your notice, and really depends. You can use it at your level, as per your your disposal of resources that you have. Okay, but it is good for you to know what you can do with this and how an idea to do that accordingly. Got it? Yeah. So let's move to the next three, which would include the free webinar, paid webinar, and auto webinar. We covered this topic in the previous one from a webinar perspective. Now we look at it from a funnel perspective. I will see you there.